It's Monday, January 14th. Welcome to Pastor Bob Daily. Every once in a while I post something on Facebook just to see how people react. And those of you that are on my Facebook know that I do that. And I usually post it, whether it's a quote or an article, whatever. And then I sit back and watch. I don't usually get involved, actually, even in the discussion. I just think it's interesting to see how people react and how they interact with each other. So this week I posted something that was I didn't think was that controversial. I thought it was just kind of a great quote, and it was controversial to some people. Here's what I said. Many Christians are prejudiced against certain kinds of people. Are you using Jesus to support your disdain for people he died for? Well, it got some interesting discussion going. And some people couldn't separate the things that people do from how we feel about them. And that's a difficult thing for a lot of us. It really is. You know, when Christ told us to love unconditionally, even our enemies, to love them, pray for them, do good to them, that's a tall order, isn't it? Because we'd rather have disdain for them, honestly. And people brought up all kinds of things. Well, you know, what about abortionists? What about homosexuals? What about, and the list went on and on and on. You know, I can't feel good about them, and of course I'm going to have disdain for them because, you know, the Bible says this and that, and, you know, and we go from there. And yet, folks, we miss the obvious. Thomas à Kempis, one of my favorite guys, wrote this. He said, "Do not be angry that you cannot make others as you wish them to be, since you cannot make yourself as you wish to be." You see, therein lies the problem. Folks, every time I say the person's not really a Christian because they continue to practice this sin, or this person really isn't a Christian because of their belief system. I had a person tell me that they didn't believe a person was a Christian because they weren't a Republican here in the United States. I'm serious. You know, when we begin to judge somebody's Christianity by a group or a list of things that we think are acceptable or unacceptable, then we have a problem. And we don't understand that Jesus died for sin, everything. Well, how does that work? Folks, every single one of you, all of us, everybody that's listening to me right now, you have sin in your life that you've had all of your life, mostly. Some of you are struggling with sins that you had before you were a Christian, and you're struggling since you've been a Christian. In fact, I would guess everybody that's listening to me has. Now, what do you do with that? Is your sin better than another person's sin? When you look at someone and you don't see their life changing immediately when they became a Christian, do you assume they're not a Christian? Do you assume certain kinds of people cannot get saved because of their belief system? Or do you do what Jesus does? Do you love everyone unconditionally? You see, that's really what he asked us to do. And if I'm showing disdain for someone based on their actions, what a hypocritical thing to do. Now, nowhere in the Bible does it say that I have to agree with somebody before that I can love them. And conversely, it never says that I am able to show disdain for somebody that I don't agree with. You see, the Bible makes it very clear that my role as a Christian, first of all, is to love God, then to love myself, and to love others. Well, that's pretty important. Love, love, love. That's the foundation. That's really what changes people anyway. But folks, I'm afraid that we, and I say we, I mean the institutional church, the church of the 21st century, has really gotten some things wrong lately. And this is really one of the big ones. We don't know how to love unconditionally. We've made too many rules and regulations based on what we feel is unthinkable and unlivable as far as inviting others to become Christians. And in the process of doing that, we've alienated a whole lot of people around us. So because I show some love for a pimp, because I show some love for a homosexual, for an abortionist, for whatever, because I dare to love somebody unconditionally, because I can hug them and tell them that I love them, am I being foolish and unchristian, or am I being Jesus to them? And folks, far more people are drawn to the faith by unconditional love than by your disdain for them. So if you're showing disdain for certain groups of people, shame on you. Quit that. It's hypocritical, first of all. And it's unbiblical, secondly. Begin to practice unconditional love, even for those people that are difficult for you to love as well. God bless you. Have a great day.